Today we'll be building the purple Portico keyboard kit from the Keycaps company. This build came bundled with a protective carrying case with matching zipper accents, and you can see that the kit and accessories are all packaged nicely inside of it. In the compartment located at the top of the case, I found a black coiled USB-C cable. It also came with C³Equalz screw-in PCB mounting stabilizers in lavender. It also came with extra foam gaskets and a small bag of extra standoffs, screws, and rubber feet. The bottom compartment of the case has the Portico itself. The board technically comes assembled already, but we will need to disassemble it in order to install the stabs. It is a 65% keyboard and the case is made of polycarbonate. First, I placed the keyboard onto my anti-static silicone mat and used my screwdriver for my iFixit kit to remove the 9 screws on the bottom. I stored the screws in a plastic sandwich bag. I separated the top and bottom of the case. One thing that the Keycaps company noted is that when the keyboard is taken apart, the top case will appear to be warped, which you can slightly see here. However, this is expected, and once the keyboard is assembled again, it'll straighten back out, which we'll be able to see later. I put the case in all its layers to the side, since I'm only going to be working with the PCB for now. I used my screwdriver to unscrew the standoffs and screws, which are currently still holding the plate and felt mat to the PCB. I put all the standoffs and screws into a little bag to keep them all together. There's a total of 5 standoffs and 10 black screws. Now it's time to install the stabs. This kit came with V2 C³Equalz screw-in stabilizers with lavender housings and stems and purple wires. These are PCB mounted and come with pre-clipped stems, as well as washers and screws. It also comes with a sticker sheet for sound dampening. The Portico only needs 3 2-unit stabilizers and 1 6.25-unit stabilizer for the spacebar. I used my Kinetic Labs palette with 205G0 from Novelkeys to lube the stems and housings with a 000 brush. For the wires, I used dielectric grease. I actually filmed this process a few months ago while I was still using dielectric grease to lube my stab wires, but now I actually prefer the stabilizer grease syringe kit from the Keycaps company. I'll leave a link down below so you can check out the product, but it makes lubing stabilizer wires so much easier, and I've been using it instead of dielectric grease for all my builds lately. Once everything is lubed, I went ahead and reassembled the stabilizers. Now that the stabs are good to go, I did a test fit on the PCB just to see how it would look. Before installing them, first I grabbed the sticker sheet with the sound dampening pads. I used a pair of fine-tip tweezers to apply them between the 2 stabilizer holes. These will sit under the housings. Now that the dampening pads are done, it's time to screw in all the stabilizers. I went ahead and pre-assembled the screws with the small washers to make it easier. Here's how it looks after installing one set. I went ahead and installed the rest, paying careful attention to the orientation for the spacebar. After making sure the screws were nice and tight, here's how the PCB will look. It's now time to reassemble the PCB, felt mat, and plate. I screwed on the 5 standoffs back onto the top side of the PCB with the black screws coming up through the bottom. I then placed the felt mat back onto the PCB, then placed the plate right on top of that. I screwed in the remaining screws on the top, and it is now ready to be placed back into the polycarbonate case. The silicone mat goes into the bottom of the casing first, then the PCB with the plate next. The top case can finally be put back on, and once that's sitting nicely, I was able to turn the entire keyboard over to close it up with the 9 gold screws. It's now time to add my switches. For this build, I went with Kinetic Labs Salmon Tactile switches. These are lubed with TriboSys 3203 and filmed with Durock films. I needed 67 in total. Once all the switches are in place, I plugged in the keyboard and opened up Maya to test everything out. Everything was working perfectly, so it's time to add my keycaps. This is the Sakura Michi keycap set from Tai-Hao Keycaps. It's made of PBT and features a 6-color gradient with an OEM profile. Before I apply this keycap set, I went ahead and added my Capsmith's Cherry Blossom keycap to the escape key. As soon as I started to add my keycap set, I noticed right away that the keycaps felt a little loose with these switches. I was easily able to fix this issue with plastic wrap. I cut out strips of it and folded it until I got a square that was just enough to cover the switch stem. This trick worked really well for me, and I was able to snugly secure the loose keycaps. Not every keycap was like this, but for the ones that I had to apply plastic wrap to, I didn't notice any significant difference in the feel or sound compared to the ones without it. This purple Portico keyboard build is now complete. Aside from the mishap with the keycaps, I found this build to be pretty simple and really fun to do. I'll be featuring a short sound test for the board at the end of the video, but I want to immediately test this keyboard after finishing it, and I was very satisfied with the sound and feel. Let's plug it in and see how it looks with the RGB. To make it easier to see, I'll be turning my desk lights off. The keyboard has several key combos you can use to change the RGB effects. You can hold down the menu key and use a combination of letter keys to change them. When I want to travel or store the keyboard, I can use the case it came with and everything fits nicely inside. Overall, I'm very happy with this keyboard and I love using it for work. The purple case and matching stabs are my favorite features, and I can't wait to pair it with other switches and keycaps in the future. While this board isn't currently in stock during the time of posting this video, the Keycaps company does occasionally release extras or additional colorways that'll be worth checking out when the time comes. If you want a custom board that's great for beginners, definitely check out this kit. I've got more fun keyboard builds coming up soon, so make sure to like and subscribe to see them. Thanks for watching!